Welcome to Tally Learning Hub. In this session, you will learn how to create a company in TallyPrime. Just like you create a book for recording your business transactions, you need to create a company to record the same transactions in TallyPrime. To begin with, press Enter on Create Company. Type the name of your company, Max Enterprises. Type your address. Next, select your state or province. And now, here is a tip for you. When you see a list anywhere in TallyPrime, you can quickly filter by starting to type the first letters of the information you want to select. Here, to select Karnataka, I will type K and the list immediately becomes small. Now press A and the list becomes even smaller. Now press Enter to select Karnataka. The country will be selected automatically. Type your PIN code. Type the contact details of your company. Next, specify the financial year from which you want to maintain your books in TallyPrime. So, here's a new tip for you. You can press the Enter key to navigate down and Backspace key to navigate up between the different fields that you see on the screen. If you wish to add more details, press F12 for Configure and Enable options as required. You can enable Use User Access Control to set password for company data as well as to manage user roles and logins. Press Enter to accept the configurations. Move to the last field on the screen. You will get a message asking whether you would like to accept the settings. Press Y to accept and N to continue editing the screen. And that is it. Your company is created. Next, it is time to set the features that are required to manage your books. To see advanced features, set Show More Features to Yes. Set Yes to features that are required. Move to the last field on the screen and press Y to accept the screen. Now, you are ready to record transactions. Here is a quick recap of things we learned. Creation of company, adding more details using F12 configure. Enabling features required to manage your books. Welcome to Tally Learning Hub. In this session, you will learn how to create ledgers in TallyPrime. Just like you create different accounts to record your business transactions, we will create the same ledger accounts in TallyPrime. The common ledgers that every business needs are customers, suppliers, purchases, sales, cash, and bank accounts. We are now on the gateway of Tally, which is the main menu of TallyPrime. Let's start with a tip for you. For every option that you see in the menu, one letter in each is in bold. For example, in balance sheet, B is in bold, and in vouchers, V is in bold. These letters are the shortcuts for you to quickly go to each option. So you press B for balance sheet, V for vouchers, and so on. Similarly, on every screen in Tally, you will find a top menu and side menu. Using top menu, you can perform actions or settings related data, company, etc. and quickly navigate from anywhere to everywhere from any screen. Likewise, the options in the side menu help you perform various actions in the context of the screen you are. Here, before every option, the keyboard shortcut is given. 1 underline means that you need to press Alt along with the key given, and 2 underlines means that you have to press Control along with the key given. Now, let's start creating ledgers in TallyPrime. Creating ledgers in TallyPrime is so flexible that you can create it from different places that suit your flow. First, let's start creating a ledger while recording a voucher entry. Press V for vouchers. Press F8 for sales. Here, I find that Party Ledger is not available on my list. To create, just press Alt plus C from the field or select Create from the list. This will take you to the ledger creation screen to help you easily create them during the transaction itself. Type the customer's name, press Enter, select a group for the ledger from the list. The group helps to identify the type of ledger we are creating. Since this is a customer's ledger, let's select the group as debtors. To select the group quickly, type the first few letters of the group and the list filters down. Type the customer's address and then press Y to accept the ledger. The ledgers now appear in the transaction. This is so flexible that you can start recording the invoice in a few minutes right after installing TallyPrime, even without setting up your chart of accounts. Press Escape to come back to Gateway of Tally. Next, let's learn another way to create ledgers. From Gateway of Tally, press C for Create, type L and select Ledgers. Now let's create a supplier's ledger. Type the supplier's name, press Enter, select a group for the ledger from the list. Since this is a supplier's ledger, let's select the group as creditors. Type the supplier's address, press Y to accept the ledger. Let's now create a purchase ledger. Type the name of the ledger as Purchases. Select the group as Purchase Accounts. Now, here is another tip for you. At any screen in Tally, if you want to save what you have entered, you can press Ctrl+A. And if you want to go back to a previous screen, press Escape. Press Ctrl+A to accept the ledger. Similarly, let's create a sales ledger. Type the name of the ledger as Sales, select the group as Sales Accounts, press Ctrl+A to accept the ledger. Let's now create a bank ledger. Type the name of the bank account, select the bank account group. Next, there are certain additional details you need to enter, such as your account number, IFSC code, and bank name. These are only required if you want to use TallyPrime's banking features such as check printing, auto-bank reconciliation, and e-payments. Enter the account number, the IFSC code, select the bank name. Let's accept the bank ledger by pressing Ctrl+A. Let's now go back to the previous screen by pressing Escape. Again, press Escape to go back to Gateway of Tally. In case you want to create multiple ledgers in one go, let's say you want to create rent, conveyance, and office expenses under the expenses group. You don't have to create each ledger one by one. Press H for Chart of Accounts. Select the masters that you want to view. I'm selecting Ledger. Press Alt+H for Multi-Masters and select Multi-Create. Type and select the group as Indirect Expenses. Type the name of the ledgers one by one. Press Enter, accept the screen. All these ledgers are created at one shot. Using the chart of accounts, you can view all the ledgers you have created along with the groups to which these ledgers belong. You can use the options in the side menu to change the view and discover more information. Press F5 to view ledger-wise and click Exceptions to know used, unused ledgers, and so on. Press Escape and go back to Gateway of Tally. At any time, if you want to edit the ledgers you have created, you can select Alter. Select Ledger from the list and select the ledger account you want to edit. Press Escape to go back to the previous screen. Now, you will see that in addition to the ledgers you have created, cash and profit and loss account ledgers are also displayed. These two ledgers are available by default when you create a company in TallyPrime. Press Escape and go back to Gateway of Tally. Next, let's learn another way to create ledgers using GoTo. Let's say you are viewing balance sheet and found that you missed creating a fixed asset ledger account which had some carried forward balance from the last year. To quickly create a ledger from here, press Alt+G for GoTo, select Create Master and select Ledger. Type the name select the group as fixed asset, mention the last year carried balance in opening balance and press Y to accept. Press Escape and come back to balance sheet. Now, you can see the ledger you have created. This way, you can create masters from any screen without leaving the report or abandoning the task that you were on. That is it. These are the different places from which you can create ledgers in TallyPrime. You can choose any of the ways that suit best to your flow. Alright, here is a quick summary of things we learned. On the fly, creation of ledger accounts from vouchers. Ledger creation and alteration from Masters menu. Viewing chart of accounts with change view and exceptions reports. Creating multiple ledgers at one shot. Creating masters from any screen using GoTo. Welcome to Tally Learning Hub. In this session, you will learn how to create stock groups and stock items to manage your inventory easily. TallyPrime gives you the flexibility of creating stock groups, subgroups, and stock items in the way that you require for your business. Let's learn this with an example. Max Electronics is a trading business majorly selling computer parts. They also sell different types of digital cameras. Many times, they want to know how many total computer parts are in stock and how many total digital cameras are in stock. They may also want to know that within computer parts, how many monitors are available, how many processors are available, etc. In TallyPrime, this can be easily achieved by creating stock groups and stock items. For Max Electronics, let us create two major stock groups, computer parts and digital cameras. Within computer parts, we can create subgroups for monitors, processors, etc. Within digital cameras, we can create subgroups like DSLR, compact digital camera, etc. All their stock items can be grouped under these stock groups. Similarly, you can create stock groups and stock items applicable for your business. Just like creating ledgers that we learned in our previous session, creating stock groups and stock items in TallyPrime is super flexible, that you can create it from different places that suit your flow. Using similar navigation, you can create stock items while doing a voucher entry, create multiple stock items from chart of accounts, and create it from any screen using GoTo. Let's start creating stock groups. Press C for Create, type Stock, and select Stock Group. Type the name as Computer Parts. Press Enter. Since this is our main stock group, we will select Primary here. Press Ctrl+A to accept the screen. Similarly, let's create a stock group Digital Cameras. Select Primary. Press Ctrl+A. That's it. Our two main stock groups have been created. Let us now create our subgroups under Computer Parts. Type the name as Monitors. Let's select the group as Computer Parts because this is a subgroup under Computer Parts. Press Ctrl+A. Similarly, let's create a subgroup for Processors. Select the group as Computer Parts. Press Ctrl+A. Let us now create the stock items under these groups. Here is a tip for you. To quickly create other types of masters, simply press F10 for other masters and select the one you want to create. Let's select Stock Item from the list. Type the name of the stock item. This is where you can group the stock item under a stock group. We will select Monitors. Now, let's give the unit of measure for the stock item. Once we create a unit of measure, we can use the same unit of measure for other items as well. Now, here's a tip for you. At any field in Tally, when you want to create a master, which could be a ledger, group, stock item, stock group, unit of measure, etc., you can use the shortcut Alt+C or select Create from the list. This ensures that you don't have to move away from the screen you are on currently to create any master. Let's create a unit of measure from this field itself by pressing Alt plus C. Since monitors are measured in numbers, let's give the symbol as NOS and formal name as numbers. Press Enter and accept. Press Ctrl plus A to save the item. Similarly, let's create another stock item. Type the name of the stock item. Select the stock group. Here, I will select processors. Now you can see the unit of measure we created earlier being listed. Press the keyboard down key and press Enter to select the same unit of measure. In case your stock item needs a different unit of measure, you can again create a new unit of measure by pressing Alt plus C. Press Ctrl plus A to accept the stock item. Similarly, you can create all your stock groups, subgroups, and stock items in TallyPrime. This will help you keep your inventory organized and know your total stock at various levels. A quick recap on the things we learned in this session. Creating stock groups and subgroups. Creation of stock items and grouping. Shortcut key to create a master from any master selection field. Creation of unit of measures, UOM. Welcome to Tally Learning Hub. In this session, you will learn how to record payments and receipts in TallyPrime. This is similar to how we recorded purchases and sales in our previous session. The only difference is that the fields required to be filled will be related to payments and receipts. Let's start. Press V for vouchers. Press F5 for payment. Press F2 to set the date. I want to set the date to 5th April. You will notice that automatically Tally changes the date to 5th April, assuming that since our last transaction was on 4th April, we will want to change the date to the next date. Let us record a payment made for the rent. Since this is a payment, Tally first asks for the ledger from which the payment is made. This can be either the cash or the bank ledger. Press spacebar and you will see the list of cash or bank ledgers you've created. Select the ledger. I'm selecting the bank ledger. Now, let's select the ledger to which the payment is made. Press spacebar to see the list of ledgers and select the ledger. I'll select the rent ledger. Enter the amount. Press Enter until you get this bank allocation screen. Here, you can enter the method by which you're making the payment. Check, transfer, or others. Depending on the method of payment, you can enter the check number or UTR number if required. This will be useful if you use our banking features like check printing, check management, and bank reconciliation. Enter the narration if required. While recording a payment or receipt transactions, you get various options in the side menu. You can use autofill to record the statutory payments such as GST, TDS remittance, etc. Similarly, in case the payment received is a post-dated check, you can mark the voucher as post-dated by pressing Ctrl L. Accept the voucher. Let us now record a receipt voucher. Press F6 for receipt. Since this is a receipt, Tally first asks for the ledger in which money is received. This can be either the cash or bank ledger. I'm selecting the bank ledger. Now, select the ledger from which the money is being received. It can be your customer's ledger or income ledger. For me, it's interest, so I'll select the interest ledger. Enter the amount. Select the method by which the money is received and the instrument details. Enter the narration if required. Accept the voucher. Similarly, you can record all your business transactions in TallyPrime. There's no need to get confused by which ledger to debit or credit. Just select the type of transaction and enter the details required. Your debits and credits are taken care of while your accounts and reports are updated instantly. Anytime you want to change to double entry mode, press Ctrl plus H for change mode and select double entry. Using this, you can easily toggle between single entry to double entry and vice versa. If you want to see the list of transactions you've recorded in a day, press Alt plus G for Go To and type Daily and select Daily Entries. In another way, from to Gateway of Tally, press D for Display More Reports. Press D for Daybook. A quick recap of things we learned in this session. Recording payment and receipt voucher. Change mode from single entry to double entry mode and vice versa. Viewing day-to-day transactions from Daybook. Welcome to Tally Learning Hub. In this session, you'll learn how to record purchases and sales in TallyPrime. Let's first record a purchase. Press V for vouchers. Here is a quick tip for you. You can simply toggle between different voucher types using the keys available in the side menu. If you wish to access other voucher types not listed in the menu, press F10 for other vouchers, type name, and select the voucher type you want to access. This way, it is easier to navigate to different voucher types without the need to remember the shortcut keys. Press Escape to go back. Press F9 for purchase. Here, you can change the format of invoice depending upon the nature and usage. To do this, press Ctrl plus H for change mode. Accounting invoice is suitable for recording service bills. As voucher, to record the transactions in debit-credit mode. I'm selecting Item Invoice mode to record inventories purchased. Press F2 and type the date. Type the invoice number and date of the bill your supplier has given you. Select the supplier's ledger. Next, mention the receipt details such as GRN number, dispatch details, etc. Press Ctrl plus A. The supplier's details are automatically captured from the ledger. Press Ctrl plus A to accept the screen. Select the purchase ledger. Press spacebar and you get the list of stock items that you have created. Select the item you have purchased. Enter the quantity and the rate. Once all the stock items purchased have been selected, press Enter and come to the field after the total line. You can see that the list immediately changes to show the list of tax ledgers and other ledgers such as packaging charges, carriage, etc. that you may want to select. I'm selecting the transportation charges. Mention the amount. Press Enter. Type a narration for the voucher if required. The narration is nothing but a short explanation of the transaction for your future reference. Press Enter. Press Y to accept the transaction. Let's now record a sale. Press F8 for sales. Select the customer's ledger. You can enter the dispatch and order details if required. Press Ctrl plus A to accept the screen. The customer's details are automatically captured from the ledger. Press Ctrl plus A to accept the screen. A tip for faster entry. In case the dispatch details or editing the party details are occasional in nature, you can disable these so that your normal flow of recording transaction is not disturbed. To disable, press F12 for Configure and set Provide Buyer Details and Provide Receipt, Order and Import Details to No. Whenever such occasional details are required to be mentioned, press Ctrl plus I for more details and specify the details as required. Press Escape and select the sales ledger. Press Spacebar to get the list of items and select the item you are selling. Enter the quantity and the rate. Press Enter to move to the field after the total line. You can select the tax ledgers such as GST, VAT, etc. as applicable. Also, the other additional ledgers such as transportation, discount, etc. can be selected. Enter the narration if required. Press Y to accept the transaction. If you want to print the invoice for this voucher, press Page Up. The previous voucher is shown. Press Alt plus P to print. Select Current. If you want to see the preview of the invoice before printing, press I for Preview. Press F4 to zoom. Press Escape to exit the zoom mode. Again, Press Escape to come out of preview mode. Press P to print the invoice. Escape to go back. Here is a tip. You can create new voucher, view and print other reports right in the middle of voucher entry using Go To and Print menu. All these without losing the details that you have entered. That's it. Recording purchases and sales in TallyPrime is that simple and quick. Just like purchase and sales, there are other voucher types available in TallyPrime, helping you account different nature of business transactions. To toggle between different voucher types, use function keys shown in the side menu. Press Alt and Control key to see additional voucher types. To access these, use Alt or Control plus the key given next to the voucher type. Or you can simply press F10 for other vouchers. Type and select the voucher type that you want to use. In another way, you can click the arrow next to vouchers to see more vouchers related to it. Here is a quick recap. Recording a purchase and sales transaction. Preview and print the invoice. Keys to access various other vouchers types in TallyPrime. Welcome to Tally Learning Hub. In this session, you will learn how to set your GST details in TallyPrime. In TallyPrime, as soon as the company is created by you, the GST feature gets enabled by default and allows you to set the GST details in the Features page. In case you miss to set the details, there are multiple ways in which you can do it. To begin with, press Alt plus G for Go To. Select Alter Master. Type GST and select GST details from the list. Select the state in which your business is located. Select the registration type. I'm selecting Regular. Next, mention the date from when the GST applies to your business. Type your GSTIN. Select Return, Periodicity of Return. Press Enter and move to Set or Alter GST Details. Press Y on Set or Alter GST Details and press Enter. Here you can set the GST rate applicable to most stock items in your business. Example, Max Electronics majorly deals in computer parts. They can set the GST rate for computer parts here and it gets applied to all the items in the company. Later, in case they deal in stock groups or items for which a different GST rate is applicable, we will see how easy it is to set the GST rates only for those stock groups or items. Here is a tip for you. To include additional details, press F12 for Configure and enable the options as required. Let's enable Allow HSN or SAC details and show all GST tax types. Press Enter to accept the settings. Enter the HSN description and the HSN or SAC code. Select the taxability as taxable. Type the GST rate, press Enter. Press Ctrl plus A to accept the screen. Let's see another way to set the GST details. Press Escape and come back to Gateway of Tally. Press A for Alter from Gateway of Tally. Type GST and select GST details. Press Escape to come back to Gateway of Tally. In another way, press F11 and enter on Enable Goods and Services Tax. Press Escape and come back to Gateway of Tally. Next, let's see how to set the GST rate for stock groups or items for which a different GST rate is applicable. Press Alt plus G for Go To. Type Rate Setup. Select GST Rate Setup from the list. Your major stock groups with their GST rate will be shown here. Currently, both are showing 18%, which will set in GST Details screen. Press Alt plus F5 for a detailed view. Now, you can see the subgroups under each major stock group and the stock items under these subgroups. For Max Electronics, the group Digital Cameras is taxed at 28% and not at 18%. So we will select the group Digital Cameras by pressing spacebar. Press Alt plus S
for set rate. Mention the HSN and rate details. Now, you can see that for the stock group digital cameras and all the items under digital cameras, the GST rate has got updated to 28%. Similarly, you can even set a GST rate for a stock item. Just select the stock item using spacebar and press Alt+S. Remember that this is the order in which Tally will apply the GST rate for an item. First, in case you have set the GST rate in the item, that rate is applied. If not, Tally will check whether the GST rate is set in the stock group. If so, that rate is applied. If not, Tally will check the GST rate set in F11 features and use that rate. In case you miss to set the GSTIN of your suppliers, customers and other parties at the time of ledger creation, you can easily set it from a single screen. Press Alt+G for Go To. Type GSTIN. Select Update Party GSTIN. Select all items in name of groups and ledger. Select the registration type, party type, and enter the GSTIN. Accept the screen. Press Escape. The next step is to set the Unit Quantity Code or UCQ for your stock items. These are codes for units of measure which you need for filing your GST returns. Again, press Alt+G for Go To and type UQC. Select Map UOM UQC. The units of measure that you have created in your company will be shown here. Press F5 for Map to UQC. The list of codes will be shown here. All you need to do is to select the code for your unit of measure. Here, since Max Electronics' unit of measure is numbers, I will select numbers. The final step for you to be GST ready is to create the GST ledgers. To quickly create ledgers from the same screen, press Alt+G for Go To and select Create Master. Select Ledger from the list. Type the name as CGST, select the group as Duties and Taxes, select GST as the type of duty, tax type as Central Tax. Press Ctrl+A to accept the screen. Similarly, type the name as SGST, select the tax type as State Tax, press Ctrl+A to accept the screen, and lastly, type the name as IGST. Select the tax type as Integrated Tax. Press Ctrl+A to accept. In case cess is applicable for your business, you can create a ledger for cess too. We are done with setting the GST details. Now, you can record the vouchers using the tax ledgers and view the returns from GST reports. Here is a quick recap of things we learned. Setting company and GST rate details. Setting GST rate at stock group and item using rate setup, mapping UQC, updating party GSTIN, and creating tax ledgers.